Hello there and a very warm welcome to this News9 discussion. Well, the game of cricket has certainly gone through a massive change in the last 10 years. Since the arrival of T20 cricket, the game has evolved almost every year and many new rules have been introduced. Now recently, the ICC introduced some new rules which may be applicable from Thursday, September 28th. Now the ICC have made some changes in the existing rules and a major chunk of cricketing fans across the world agree and disagree with these rules on board. So today, we'll be dissecting these particular new changes and figure out if it's good or bad, or more importantly, have an impact on the game that we love so much. You as well at home can get interactive with us on Twitter, especially on News9 tweets. Tweet us using #GameChanger. Well, it's been an absolute game changer, should we say, from all perspectives from the ICC earlier this year with the new rules. And with us in the studio right now, we have a lot of guests. A lot of guests probably could pack up a certain stadium on the certain day. Now, before I get to the talking points, let me just introduce the guests. Obviously, we have Shyam Ponappa, the former Ranji cricketer. Thank you, Shyam, for joining us. Alongside him, Vedam Shankar. Welcome back after a much-needed break. Good to see you again. Now, we also have a man appearing on his debut with me, at least, Mr. Vidyanag, motivational coach. Thank you again. And the ever dapper, we should say, Bishan, the cricket writer. Thank you, Bishan. We should pick your brains throughout the next 1 hour, so it'll be interesting. And joining us and making their own debuts as well are 4 budding cricketers who played in the circles of the KSCA, all under 21, under 16. Thank you guys for joining us. We'd love to know and find out about you guys, about this whole new set of rules, so we'll get to that. Now, before we get to that, the International Cricket Council have introduced new rules and the rule changes for the game that will come into effect predominantly on Thursday. And the new rules are being used for the first time on Thursday, a day which will see 3 games taking place. So will this be a new beginning in the gentleman's game? So it boils down to those questions, ladies and gentlemen. Will the new set of guidelines change your cricketing experience from now on? Will the changes have any impact on the gentleman's game? And is there any rule you would like to see introduced in the game with all of these things coming into play? You can call us on 080-2236-0302 or 03. At the same time, you can share your views on Twitter as well, yes, using the hashtag on News9 tweets as Game Changer. Well, I've introduced my guests, and now the first thing to ask them is about these new rules. Like we said in the package, laws of laws. Shyam, we'll open it with you.
Well, see, I think I'm personally not very happy with 3 of these changes. One is the mocking the batsman while making an attempt to throw the ball at the batsman. The second one would be to show a red card if he's found going overboard with his reactions, and the bat flying up in the air when you're trying to complete a run, at least diving into the ground. I've got different reasons for this because I'll start off with that the bat in the air thing.
Correct.
Because in the modern game, I think there is a technique involved with every single thing.
Absolutely.
And I'm very sure that coaches would have taught the players how to dive with the bat in a particular way.
Correct.
And yes, that shows a flaw in the technique, and I don't think that really should be going in favor of the batsman.
And luck plays a big part in sports. So sometimes if you plonk your bat.
It does. I mean, sometimes there are tufts of grass which are slightly higher on certain edges of the edges of the pitches, which causes the bat to jump.
Right.
Yeah, yes, but you as a player need to be one step ahead and understand what is to be done to get out of that situation. So I'm not happy with that.
It comes back to technique.
Yeah, and I think that the other 2 are interconnected. The mocking at the batsman and showing a red card. I think for one, as a cricketer, I'm always in favor of having a little bit of aggression in the game. It's about being feisty. It's about as a bowler you're able to show what your mindset is, and showing the batsman that you are actually there to.
And ultimately, as fans, doesn't that captivate us more?
Exactly. You're coming to the ground for a little bit of spice in the game. You want a little bit of all in all, you want some passion in the game. It shows bat and ball. There's some sort of passion involved in the game, and that attracts people to watch the game on TV or to come to the ground to watch the game. It's very difficult. See, someone like you're just curbing a natural instinct of a player. Someone like a Kohli is naturally aggressive. You're just curbing his instincts, which will probably not make him more attractive as a cricketer. Yes, he might get all the runs,
Correct.
but you associate Kohli with a certain demeanor, and if you're trying to take away that from him, I don't think he will really be the player that he was, or he will really not be able to connect with the people.
Correct.
So that, I think, is the biggest problem. There are so many other cricketers around the world who are aggressive in nature. You try to curb their natural instinct by enforcing these rules, which I'm not too convinced with. I hope they're lenient with it to an extent, but as things stand at the moment, I think the players will also be wary about their behavior in future.
Fair enough. Now, coming to you, Vedam, the fact that there have been wholesale sort of changes, and we have 3 matches tomorrow. We have one in South Africa, I think the Bangladesh Test match there. We have one in Abu Dhabi, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and of course in our very own Bengaluru, India, Australia. So will we see a huge, say, unusual signs in tomorrow's games, for example?
No, my worry really is not about international cricket at all, because I think international cricket, there's a lot of other things involved. There's money involved, agents involved, decorum involved. It gets okay. See, first and foremost, some of these rules, how they've made it. Now, a category 4 offence, which is physical contact.
Correct.
Cricket is not a game of physical contact. Now, you've taken that away from the match referee. You kept it with the match referee because you had useless umpires.
Exactly.
You had useless umpires who couldn't take decisions, so he said match referee would decide. But the downside of that was, besides category 4 offences, there were other offences also. You couldn't call a guy for chucking on the field.
Correct.
You need to report him, and the referee would look at it, and a whole lot of other issues, because things are happening on the field.
Right.
If there is a category 4 offence on the field, he should be thrown out.
Correct.
And we have seen, it's not that cricket is, this is new to cricket. We saw earlier John Snow and Sunil Gavaskar.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of other things have happened. One of the West Indian fast bowlers, I guess it was Croft or Holding, I'm not sure who it was, he ran into a New Zealand umpire. So these are all deliberately done. So
Correct.
cricket is not a physical sport. The minute you have a physical sport, make it physical, then obviously action has to be taken. And it's good that they've empowered the on-field umpire to do these kind of things. My fear is that if this percolates down to your Ranji Trophy, under 15, under 16, your age group, we don't have good umpires. We just don't have competent umpires.
Correct.
And they could make a big mess over there. The mess could be done for various other reasons. I'm not just talking about contact. Yes, contact
Correct.
is totally out of the question. But now you look at the Beamer.
Yeah.
Beamer is bad. Beamer is straight away.
So that could be perceived as deliberate sometimes?
Yeah, but Beamer is not allowed in the game.
Right.
Straight away it's not allowed. Now you can remove the bowler.
Yeah.
You don't even have to give him another thing. You can just remove him.
Correct.
Without even looking at it. Now, once you empower the umpire that way, it could be a little dangerous. But some of the rules are good. I like the fact that the bat size is going to, I think they're going to limit it to 67 mm. You already had people playing with 85 mm thickness.
But does that actually bring into consideration the bowlers? Because obviously in modern day cricket, bowlers are being clobbered all over the park. So with the bat size, like you mentioned, will it hamper the batsman?
See, there are 2 things to look at it here, One is batting techniques were going awry.
Correct.
Most of the batsmen are spending a lot of time in the gym,
Right.
trying, because you need bat speed. You can't have a heavy bat, bat with those kind of thickness. That is, after it's compressed, after the willow is compressed, it's 85 millimeters. So you need upper body strength, you need muscle, and you didn't care too much about technique because you were confident that your bat will take the ball out of the park.
Correct.
But now you're coming back to 67 mm. It gives a chance to some of the smaller built players also, batsmen especially,
Yeah.
who can bat. You don't need to spend so much time on the gym.
Correct.
You can concentrate more on your skills. So those kind of things is really good. And you can't just depend on the bat to take the ball out of the park. You still need to time the ball. You still need to keep your head down or do whatever you need to do technically. So I think that part of it is very good.
Right.
I'm all for it.
But the others are pretty skeptical.
Bouncing this, like Shyam mentioned, what is cricket after all? In a pressure situation, how do you react?
Yeah.
Now, run out is a pressure situation for the batsman. So you need to be aware of so many things.
Correct.
You need to ensure also that the bat doesn't bounce off.
Yeah.
And as far as I am concerned, I think that's a bad rule. If it bounces, you're out.
Yeah.
I like that rule.
Like the olden days.
You like the olden days. I like that rule. You need to be aware all the time. And if you're not going to do that, then you're just giving away, it becomes more like baseball rather than anything else.
Correct.
So some rules are good, some I'm not very happy with.
Fair enough. Now, we have 6 other gentlemen to get to, but before that, we'll take a small little breather here. The first on this News9 discussion. Do stay tuned to us and obviously get active on Twitter as well. We'll see you in a small while. Welcome back. Yes, that's the question we're kind of asking in 2 words. Game changer, is it, by the ICC? Well, only time will tell, as tomorrow is the first day of these new implementation of rules. And we're asking you all, will the new set of guidelines change your cricketing experience just from a viewer's perspective? And more importantly, will the changes have any sort of impact on this game we love? And more so, if you guys would like to tweet us any particular new rule which you'd like to see introduced in the game, please do so and tweet us using the hashtag which is on the bottom of your screen. Now, moving on, and before we come to the 2 other experts, I really want to get into these youngsters who are present with us in our studio. And it's fascinating having all you guys here, considering you guys are in the circles of the local cricket, the state cricket, and you guys are the future of the game in many ways. Now, like Vedam pointed out, it will percolate beyond the international sphere, not just in cricket, but the Ranji to the domestic levels. Now, you guys are now going to be, say, in another 10, 15 years, probably be filling the shoes of cricketers. Would you say that these rules, which you guys have seen, is a boon or a bane in terms of your... You can go first. Yeah.
Like everything that's newly introduced need to be adapted, right? It's like the rules which are there for what to say. It's like at initial stage it will be difficult for us to get adapted.
Adjust. Correct.
Yeah, but later on it can be a good boon for us actually.
But did you ever imagine to be seeing a red card in cricket?
No, actually, it's something new, and
Correct.
it can be a funny side of cricket also. Seeing an umpire showing a red card to a player,
Correct.
we can get a lot of memes.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that,
absolutely. Yeah, the other flip side of it, like you said, for sure. But moving on to y'all, are you guys those cricketers who also like to wear your heart on your sleeve and play aggressively, like Sham said? Now that you might have to curb, right? So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, obviously cricket is played with your grit and passion, so your natural instinct is stopped.
Correct. You want to be a winner.
Yeah, just like Virat Kohli's, David Warner's, you want to get those. You want to get under the skin of the batsman
Right.
to get those runs, crucial runouts.
And it's also about a mental game to put them off their guard. And how many times have you guys done it? For instance, if you guys have probably been baked in the field throughout the day, you'd eventually have a little sledge at the batsman, right?
Yeah, obviously that's like a habit for us
Yeah.
in every game.
Correct.
So
I mean, it won't be crossing a certain line, but having said that, that aggression will still be there. Now coming to you, would you say that these particular new rules would be a good thing for the game, such as bouncing bats, red cards, and tied bails?
One thing I will not go through bouncing the bat. It is a good rule only.
Okay.
When you get the bounce the bat, that time will be the batsman will go to
Correct. To the crease.
crease.
Yeah.
That time will be bounce the bat.
Right.
It is a right. It
Yeah,
is a
like the olden days, like Sham said. But which other ones do you disagree with?
one.
Only the one.
One.
Now, coming to you, Dinesh in the far corner, you seem rather quiet there. Now, having said that, are you interested in terms of these particular new rules? And more importantly, if there's any new rule that you'd like to see implemented, what would that be?
Like some rules I like about it. Some rules are like for good for batsmen. Some rules are for bowlers also. Like it is totally complicated with like bowlers can have like these many things, good and bad also. And like what that Manish Pandey goes out and catches. It's about like catches win matches. Like
Absolutely.
catches win matches. If he's going out and if he's judging the ball and catching outside the field and if he's throwing to some of the player who is there, if he comes and catch, it's out.
It's out.
And the match can be changed by the catching the who is getting out.
Correct.
And the new rule what is there at present, we won't even like that. It would be applicable.
Correct.
And one more thing, like I like to say, the whatever the measurement of the ground is, it should be one. Like some of now they had changed the bat sizes, like 67 mm and 40 mm.
Right.
Like if it would be like only 1 centimeter, like normal ground rule, like it should be like this type of yards, like totally wherever the ground is in all over the world where the stadium is. I like to say that it would be like 1 how much yards it should be.
Correct.
If
it should be universal.
Universe.
Fair
And
enough.
it should be everything same and clear wherever it is. If it is 5 yards close, means it would be helpful for
He
batsman.
says when the bat size
Correct.
is down, the ground size also should be
Absolutely.
Equal
Yeah.
for everything. It would be good for batsmen and bowlers also. If it is like some of the Chinnaswamy Stadium ground is too less,
Correct.
if the batsman spinner is coming and bowling to him, if it gets edges, it can be going for boundary
Yeah,
also.
correct.
If it is larger in size stadium.
An even playing field by all means.
Yeah, old means even he can get out.
Yeah.
But the one rule they didn't apply this is like getting one stadium, and all the rule is like what they had said, like something are good for batsmen, bowlers and umpires also.
Correct.
This rule they should have done it like 1 ground centimeter, how much yard should be. This rule, I think that it would.
No, that's a fair point, because I mean.
No, it's not a fair point, because there's a problem of vagaries
Why
of
would
pitch.
you disagree?
There's vagaries of pitch. So the pitches are not the same everywhere.
So for example, we have different venues.
No, if you're going to have fair point, if you're going to say everything has to be standardized, everything has to be uniform, then it's not cricket.
Correct.
The
Because not every condition.
The idea of cricket is, you play in England, you expect the ball to swing. You play in
Correct.
India, you expect it to spin. You play in Australia, you expect it to bounce. That's how cricket is, and that's how it should be.
Right.
And when you have different pitches, you can't have the standardized field.
Yeah,
Field
because,
size also
because
will
other things
vary.
also will change over
Other
time.
things also will change.
Fair
Not
enough.
just the pitch, even the weather conditions will change. The climatic conditions even in the same country will change. So standardization of that is not correct. And by the way, that Manish Pandey catch would still be out.
Would still be out.
He'll still be
Yeah,
out.
because
Even in
there's
the
a
new
small,
rule.
there's a small little glitch in that rule. We'll come
No,
to
he's
that.
still out.
It's still out.
It's still out.
So, but even if the second player is involved near the boundary.
He's not. No, what he did is he was in the field when he pushed the catch. When he
Correct.
pushed the ball up,
And that's completely allowed.
went
legal.
out, came back, and completed the catch inside. That's allowed.
Fair enough. Now, moving on to
don't
Mr.
think
Vidyanag here, the fact that all these changes, does it actually bring that level playing field that the ICC so badly want, a match between bowlers and batsmen, and they perhaps think that the modern day game is shifting towards the batsman?
Right. I mean, a couple of things. It will not be applicable for tomorrow's match between India and Australia. They have made it very clear it starts with the
Next
West
series.
Indies and Bangladesh series and the Pakistan and Sri Lanka series.
Okay.
So India match will not
It's
be
ruled out.
affected. Tomorrow it is the old rules will still be.
You can never discount the BCCI
Yeah.
with these sort of things. can
No,
you?
no, but most of the conditions
Yeah.
for a series it's decided
Yeah.
beforehand.
beforehand.
Beforehand
So
itself.
that is that way. This series nothing will change for India or Australia, and these rules. I think what they are trying to do is, cricket is a gentleman's game. They are trying to bring more closer to a gentleman.
Right.
They
yeah.
want all the players and all the people to be as gentlemen as possible, like how it started earlier, and then it went on a lot
But-
of
but
changes
with a
and
few
all those
twists
things.
and turns. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Bishan, you could probably agree with me in this, because you wouldn't want to curb aggression like Sham said, because that's where the passion lies, emotion lies, eventually the moolah lies, right?
In principle, I'm in agreement with ICC's view to empower umpires to take decisions on the field,
Right.
to eject players temporarily or permanently. Now, how that plays out, we'll have to see. And the intent of
And
the
that
rule,
need not be a level 4 offence, like
it need not be.
Okay.
Now, the intent of that rule is not to prevent bowlers from staring at the batsman or making a wisecrack. That's not the intent of the rule. The intent is to prevent intimidating, aggressive motions by players.
Okay.
And that's a fair enough objective to have in place. So it's not that.
So cite me an example, and cite our viewers an example. Like, if we can rewind our minds back to the Pollard and Stark fight.
So a Pollard and Stark incident definitely deserves to be curbed. That's not something that should happen on a cricket field. Nobody should be raising their bat in an intimidating manner towards another player. So that should be curbed.
Correct.
On the other instance, someone passing by and making a wisecrack, or someone saying something something like what Johnson said, that I'll break your arm.
Yeah, correct.
Something like that. It's something that is said. I don't know if the current rules will curb that.
But isn't that perceived as deliberate? If you're saying it, then you'll break his
No,
arm.
but I don't think that it stops anybody from saying that.
I also don't
Category
think so.
4 is a physical contact. It's not a physical game.
But now with technology and the mic stumps and all of that, won't there be more Hawkeye attention?
How much do we
literally?
hear on mic stumps happening even today? We hear nothing that is controversial that's coming up.
We perhaps won't, but won't the match referee and the
They might,
the
they
umpires
might, yeah.
get
I suppose this is something I suppose we will only have to see how it's interpreted to know, because the intent is certainly not to curb this. So what we are speculating here, Virat Kohli's natural aggressive attitude, that will not be curbed.
Correct.
His aggressive attitude, body language will not be curbed. If he starts abusing people, raising his hand, now that will be curbed, and it should be curbed.
Correct.
Now, if you ask the young players here,
Yeah.
when he is batting or when he is bowling, if somebody comes and says something, his mindset will go. He is focusing on his things.
Correct.
So that should be curbed, because it is changing his, like how a dead ball is bowled. Even in a dead ball, the batsman gets distracted. So next ball he may play well or not play well. Depends. So that's very critical, and that's where I think these rules will come into effect.
Can I give a
See,
few
but what
examples?
they are talking of is a deliberate no ball. Now, what is a
Correct.
deliberate no ball is? You can run halfway down the pitch to try and injure a batsman.
Yeah,
What
true.
you get is only a no ball so
no
far.
ball.
But now you'll be thrown out. You'll be
Yeah.
removed.
Also, Vedam,
You can be removed.
But
from
how
goal.
do you see, how do you gauge whether it's a deliberate
no,
no ball or
let
not?
me tell you this.
You're not going to bowl from 18 yards. If somebody's bowling from 18 yards or whatever, it's definitely deliberate.
See, the only deliberate no ball I can think of is Mohammad Ahmed's at Lords.
No, let me
in
give you an
2014,
instance.
right?
When let's say there's 1 run to win in the match.
Correct.
Batsman is batting on 99. There are 10 balls left in the game. Bowler knows the team is going to lose anyway.
Correct.
Now you don't want to give the batsman his 100. You bowl a big no ball.
Like what happened to Sehwag in
Right,
Sri
it
Lanka.
happens. So that's the kind of deliberate no ball which you know for sure is deliberate, because you can't judge between 2 centimeters and 4 centimeters what's deliberate.
Correct.
That an umpire can't tell. But something like this you can tell.
Yeah.
When there's 1 run to win, 10 balls left and a batsman on 99.
No,
and
I
you
don't.
overstep.
No, I don't
In
think
fact,
so.
that happened.
I don't think so.
That exactly
no.
happened
You
in the
can
Caribbean
bowl a
Premier
bouncer
League.
over his head. It doesn't matter. You can bowl a bouncer
Just to
over
deny him
yes,
his
to
personal
deny him.
landmark.
Why should I give him a landmark?
Yeah.
You're not there to serve him coffee and tea. And
Yeah, so
biscuits.
ultimately it
He
boils
has
down
to
to
get it.
competition.
But
No,
that's the
you-
kind of thing this will curb.
No, no,
and
no,
other
no.
things.
So
some
no,
other-
that's not the thing. The thing is, if you remember when Srishant got into that pickle with that match fixing,
Correct.
what he spoke about is in the dressing room that he wanted to break Dhoni's head.
Yeah.
He said he will bowl from halfway down the pitch and break his head.
Correct.
And that is one of the reasons why he was ejected from that team. I think Rajasthan Royals it was, that he was ejected from the team. So you don't want that kind of thing to happen on the cricket field, which he talks of that,
Correct.
deliberate no ball. He talks of a Bhima, you know.
Correct.
Those are some
But
of the reasons.
Me as a cricketer, if I want to intimidate my opposition, I could probably say this, but not actually do it. So if I say it, would I still get sent off?
Well, if
Yes,
there's a clever batsman, he'll encourage you. He'll say,
Yes.
do it, do it, do it. Well, 100% he knows he has to now play with 10 people. I don't
And
think that's
one
the
more
thing.
thing what they've done is now umpire can recall a batsman. Even
Okay.
if he has gone out of the field also. If he feels that he is to be recalled, and that I think power has been given to the umpire.
Okay.
That they have changed. That's a good one. Like we have seen a couple of cases where batsman has been recalled.
Correct.
For whatever reason the umpire thinks and all. But the only thing is that the ball should not have been bowled, the next ball.
Correct.
So,
Now, fair enough. Now, before we slip in a short break, another situation I'd like to show you guys and talk to you guys about is what if a batsman plays a straight shot past the bowler and the bowler retaliates and throws it back at him. Now, is that deemed as probably deliberate or misconduct? Shah?
No.
well, I think so.
See, for me, it's.
Everyone's saying no. Would you side with the party?
No, I definitely don't think it's misconduct at all. I mean, ball has been thrown at me a few times.
Correct.
I've never felt that the bowler is doing it with any intention of hurting me.
Correct.
It's just a natural, automatic
It's
reaction.
just to get you back in your crease.
It's not that. It's a natural, automatic reaction for a bowler. You know, when I have bowled the ball, also it is automatic. When I fielded the ball, it has naturally occurred to me to
instinctive.
throw the ball. It's instinctive. You're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
trying to curb a natural instinct of a player. You're trying to make the, trying to connect that with misconduct. It is not misconduct. When I'll say what is misconduct. You played the ball, it rolls slowly towards the bowler. He picks the ball and he throws it at you. That is misconduct. Not when the ball is hit at a fair clip. He picks the ball. It's natural reaction for you. to
If
throw
I
the
probe
ball
the ball into the leg side and say I have a skipper like Kohli
No,
standing
I
near
don't-
mid-wicket and he throws it back at me.
No, that's not what
That's
they're talking
fine.
of. They're talking of if it is a defensive stroke and there is no intention to take a run.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you still throw the ball at that,
Correct.
either at the batsman or at the stumps, or in the guise
when
of
you
throwing
defend,
at the
when you
stumps,
defend the
throw
ball,
it at the
when you defend
batsman.
the ball,
Even if
generally
I come
the
down
ball,
the ground defend.
That is sufficient. Yeah, you can come down the ground.
See,
There's no
obviously,
intention for a run.
Okay.
See, these acts of misconduct are generally very obvious.
Right.
Acts of misconduct on a cricket ground is generally very, very obvious. You cannot cover things up. When you defend the ball, ball rolls slowly back to the ball. He picks the ball and throws it back to. It's obvious that it's misconduct.
Correct.
Not when it's hit back at a fair clip and when a fast bowler is on his on his follow through and he picks the ball. It's natural for you to just throw it back.
Correct.
It's just aggression. It's just probably irritation that he has hit the ball back at you. It's a natural reaction. For a fast bowler who's bowling at 140 or 150, if the ball is hit back at you, he's automatically going to react at it because he's generally an aggressive person by nature. It makes him angry that the ball is hit back at him at a fair clip. So that for me is natural behavior.
Yeah.
When you stop somebody, when you get the ball slowly and then you throw it back
The new
at the
rules
batsman,
don't
that for me
specifically
is
say this
misconduct.
will be an issue. They
Yeah.
don't say that. So we are speculating here by saying this is going to be an issue. I suspect not.
Correct.
Right? So I don't think we
Maybe
should
it's
go
umpire's call
speculate to
on
say
what-
that this will be an issue. It's highly unlikely this will be considered to be an issue.
This is going to create a lot of chaos. Like for a batsman like me, I'll defend it slowly only. If I think that the bowler is not active enough, I'll try myself to take a single.
Correct.
We have seen
Just
many.
pinch a single,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. if I'm stepping out the pitch, I'm defending a ball. If I'm seeing that a batsman, the bowler is not active enough, I'll try to take a single. And what if the bowler picks up the ball and throws at me?
Yeah.
Will it be taken as a misconduct?
Yeah, so there's small little intricacies here.
No,
that
there
we'll
is
probably
no,
have
only
to
the
discuss.
intention.
And
If the
gentlemen, we'll
intention
get
is to
back
take a
you.
run.
We have to take a break. I mean, I love the fact that it's getting so hostile and heated up in the studio, and why shouldn't it be? Because it is a game we love, and it's a debate after all. So it's hostile, it's articulate to say the least, and you should stay with us for more of this after this small little break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've been having a riveting discussion so far regarding the new cricket changes which have been made by the ICC. Now, we've spoken about pretty much all of them, but we have to get one big talking point, which is DRS. Yes, decision review system, Dharmasena review system, Dhoni review system, call it whatever you might. It will be tweaked slightly. Now, the most important change, like Mr. Vidyanag was telling us during the break, is going to be implemented in T20s.
Yeah.
Now, many people probably think, yeah, in T20s, haven't we seen this before? Haven't we not? But it's actually not there. It's there in tests. It's there in
It's
ODIs as
also,
well.
yeah.
But it's not yet there in T20s.
Now it will start.
Will that slow down the game of such a high adrenaline pumping game?
Yeah, because T20 is a hard and fast game, and it's a fast-paced game.
Correct.
So in that, if this comes, you'll have to wait, and that could change the game also.
Correct.
And the reviews can be sought after, and that can change the whole game itself. So there it will become a very important role. I think that's a good thing they did this, because T20 was always one-sided. If the batsman scores well in the first 8 overs or so, then the batting team would end up winning. I mean, I'm saying normally. So this could change that to a large extent.
So that's the big change. The other big change is with respect to the umpire's call. Now, if you guys might be wondering at home what the umpire's call is, I'm sure you guys have seen the Hawkeye when it comes on the screen. There's a little certain margin in which the umpire gets benefit to decide whether it's not or out. So Vedam, your thoughts on that, and I'll come to Bishan thereafter.
No, it's a good call. It's a good call, because the on-field, the fielders, the wicketkeeper or the bowler, they don't know if half the ball is going to hit, quarter of the ball is going to hit.
Okay.
They believe it's going to hit.
So technology is foolproof,
Yeah,
they're saying.
technology says that only quarter of it hit.
Correct.
So the match referee may go with, the decision will go with what the third umpire will go with the on-field call in that case. Since the half ball is not hit, only quarter ball is hit, it's hit on the outside, They shifted the rule. Earlier it has to hit the inside of the stump. Now they made it has to hit even outside the stump is considered,
Correct.
provided it's hit 50% of the ball. Now let's say it's less than 50% of the ball has been hit. The stump hits, the ball hits less than 50%. Then what happens is it's the on-field umpire's call.
Correct.
But because the guy who's calling for it doesn't know, it's actually out.
Correct.
He doesn't know. They go with the rule, but so he doesn't lose that review.
Okay. So
I
they
feel-
preserve the review,
Yeah.
which is fair enough.
It's
right?
fair enough. I think they protect that. The 80 overs, I'm not so sure, because there's no reloading.
Resetting is
Reloading
not
at 80.
80 is not
I
there.
think they should have had that.
Fair enough.
But there's no reloading.
Do you agree with that?
So we have to understand the difference between ball tracking in cricket and ball tracking in other sports. So when a viewer sees this ball hitting the stump and not hitting the stumps, it's difficult to understand why is it out or not out. It's not clear. The reason is in cricket there is from the distance from the batsman to the stump is a projected ball path.
Right.
In sports like tennis or goal line technology in football, it is actual ball path.
Correct.
So you can decide, you know for sure where the ball is landed.
And the predicted ball path, basically, would I be right in saying it comes from conditions? Because certain times you think it's dead on because it's impact, it's hitting,
Yeah, so
but it's just suddenly missing.
So the projected ball path is supposed to take into account how the ball has bounced till the time it hit the pad or hit the batsman. So there is a margin for error, and technology, the DRS itself, the companies that make it, Hawkeye, Eagle, etc., admit that there is a margin for error.
Correct.
Which is why there is a umpire's call concept in cricket, where if the umpire gives it out and half the ball is hitting, it stays out. If the umpire gives it not out, less than half the ball is hitting, it stays not out.
Correct.
So that margin for error is given because of technology and the projected ball path.
Right.
Now it's not fair, because it cannot be that the umpire's decision is right whether he gives it out or he gives it not out, because the decision eventually stands.
Yeah.
Either way it stands because of that margin for error. So it can't be that he's always right.
Correct.
And even if it is that he's always right, it can't be that a team is penalized for it.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is extremely important that it's
So like Vedam said, you get to preserve that.
Yes.
Now just coming back
See,
to
actually, I'll just come back to it. Where does this tracking come from? It's come from warfare.
Correct.
The bomber is flying at 400 miles per
Correct,
hour or
yeah.
something. They just release the bomb. Before the bomb hits, the guy is already gone.
Right,
He's
yeah.
gone. He must have already cleared about maybe 100 miles away or 30 miles away.
Correct.
So that projected path, whether it hits 10% or 15%, it's still a bomb.
Yeah.
It's going to blow the whole place up. So this is the same technology used.
Correct.
That is why it's got defense applications, this technology. It's the same technology used. Except that cricket has decided that half the ball is out, quarter ball is not out.
Fair enough. That little insight there.
Avnish,
from
just
Vedam.
one point
No,
on the- on
one
the-
second, guys, because I have to get to this caller who's been patiently waiting with us, and everyone has been tweeting us quite predominantly, I should say, and it's a good thing on our discussion. Now we have a caller called Usha Rao who calls us frequently on our channels. It's a delight to talk to you again. Your thoughts about this whole new set of rules?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
You know, to your question whether these changes will have any impact on the gentleman's game,
Right.
I would say cricket has long ceased to be a gentleman's game, you know. There was a time when the word cricket was a synonym for fair play, and if anything unfair was done, we would say it's not cricket, but not so anymore. You know, considering the times we live in, most of these rules are well worth implementing. I think cricket today is a lot more aggressive, with centers frayed, you know, foul and unparliamentary language used on the field, and at times players even come into blows. So red card being introduced is a right move because bans and fines have not acted as deterrents. Besides this, the no boxing rule and the bails being tethered to the stump and the helmet out are good. And the one new rule I would like to see, that is if it is within the purview of ICC, is restricting the number of international matches played in a calendar year. I think there is excessive cricket these days, what with 3 formats of the game, and so a sense of deja vu creeps in many times. Also, this leads to neglecting of domestic cricket. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, that was pretty well summed up, ma'am. I mean, you had an absolute good vision of what cricket needs to be in the future. And having said that, Vidyanag sir, you want to react to that quickly before we take another caller? Especially the fact that curbing the limited matches?
Yeah, I think she is very much right in saying now cricket has ceased to be a gentleman's game. It's more like a football or rugby or something like that. Not to that extent, but a lot of distractions and things are happening there. So these rules will definitely help the game to get back on track with gentleman's game.
Fair enough. I mean, maybe I won't agree with you right now because there's another caller and I will rebuttal your point there. But we have another caller and you can go ahead, sir, with your thoughts as well. Venkatesh, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a small suggestion for the technical committee.
Okay.
Before the technology was introduced,
Right.
they were using whether bails, whether the ball hit the fence or not. It was before the technology. Now it's not required. If the ball hits, if the batsman bowled hit a ball hitting the fence, he should be given whether bails fell or not. He should be given. Why the bails is required?
Well, that's a valid point you brought up there, but the fact that it still remains that technology does play a big part. I mean, I know what he's trying to say, that the fact that technology now is taking the game to a different level, but it's needed, right, Vishan?
You definitely need
Vedam?
bails. Yes, you need bails in the game. You can't take it out of the game.
Yeah.
Though when it's very windy, you are entitled to take it off.
Or put heavier bails.
Yeah, heavier bails or whatever. But what happens is, it's not just a question of batsmen getting bowled or things like that. What happens to a run out?
Yeah.
Now, if the bails are down, you need to uproot the stump.
Yeah.
You know, that's the law.
Correct.
Now, for every time you can't go around uprooting the stump. So I think bails are required. It's needed. It's part of the game. It's part of the ethos of the game, the culture of the game. And when you call stumps also when they take off the bail,
Correct.
I think you need those kind of things.
You can't imagine just hanging it off a little small
So
thread over there.
yeah, I think it's part of the game. It's part of the game's ethos.
Fair enough. Now, the last talking point we will get to after this small little break, and that is, which remains a suspense. So I won't give it away. Just stay tuned. Welcome back to this News9 discussion. We're just winding up here. And before we actually let you leave, the fact that we have been discussing about these wholesale changes made by the ICC. Now, quickly, throughout the guests, I want to ask them one pro and one con with the new set of rules. And Shyam, let's start with you.
Yeah, pro would be the players would definitely want to curb their natural instincts, saying that they want to be good cricketers, but the cons definitely that if I'm a viewer, if I want to see some passion in the game, I would definitely not watch any more cricket because of that.
Vedam?
The pro is of course the bat size. I'm all for it. The con is, of course, the bouncing bat.
Bouncing bat.
I'm not for it at all, because it's part of the game.
Fair
So
enough.
taking it away.
Cool. And Mr. Vidyanag?
The pro is this allows for further changes also based on how the game is played the next 2 years and the red card is there or not. So, I mean, it opens up for the rules to be changed as often they want. The con is, yes, there are certain cons. The game will lose its passionate and the maybe the passion crowds and other things, that aggression might come down a bit, and that's okay. I mean, that's a con point from my side.
Vishan, if you were a batsman in today's game, you'd be looking at this and thinking, what's good for me, what's not good for me. So from that perspective,
My pro is actually something which we haven't discussed.
okay,
It's on munkering. The rule has changed slightly.
correct.
Which is that earlier the rule was in the bowling stride, if the batsman stepped out, he could be dismissed. Now it is when the bowler is expected to release the ball.
Right.
So they're saying that it is an offense to start running early. So over a period of time, the usage of munkering, which has a negative connotation to it, clearly is reducing little by little. So munkering will over time not be an offense at all.
Correct.
Right.
But is that?
I mean, will be an offense. And
But normally munkering is done because it catches the batsman sleeping, right? So if you could do that,
right, so now he has to wait till the time the bowler is expected to release the ball to step out. If he steps out before that, he can be run out.
because it's seen as an advantage for batsmen.
Yes.
Fair enough. Now coming to you, Dinesh, pro and con, because we've discussed quite a lot on today's show. For you, what's the standout advantage and disadvantage?
Like some rules, I feel like it will be good for the team, whatever it is. Some rules may be bad for the team also. Like the run out, what the red card they said. Like if the spinner is bowling and if he flights the ball, if he is coming out of this crease and if he defends, what the bowler should do? Obviously, he will throw to the
Correct.
batsman
National
keeper
instinct, yeah.
because he wanted to get him out. But if he is coming out of this crease, off away, he will be out of this crease. So he can try that, but I won't like that if the red card is good.
That's cool. That's a fair point. Now, you youngsters obviously going to be the future of the game. These rules, happy, unhappy, sad?
Some are happy and some are not.
Fair enough. And you, quickly, because we have just 30 seconds to go.
I think this equalizes the strength of all the departments of the game. So
Do you actually believe that? You
Yeah.
actually think it would
Yeah.
in the long-term approach? We'll have to wait and
not
see.
in the long term. I don't think so.
Short fix
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Would you agree with your friend here?
Yeah, exactly. I'm agreeing with him. It's like the rules that have been introduced before implementing it. It had been kept in mind that the rules they are implementing, it will actually balance all aspects.
All
like
departments of the
all
game.
departments actually, batting, bowling, as well as the umpiring department also. But I'm unhappy with that. All the powers and all has been given to the umpires. It's like for international level it's fine, but for domestic level and below that level, it's like it will be really chaotic. I'm telling. It will be really difficult for the budding players to come up, cause here the level of umpiring is really, really bad.
Now you have to probably have that little new ICC mandate in your kit bags. Well, on that note, we'll certainly wrap. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a great discussion after a while, and we should hope that tomorrow's games, not the India-Australia one, keeping in mind, but the other games will probably see something unusual in the game we love that much. And only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen, if these new rules are good, bad, or downright ugly. On that note, it's a wrap in this News9 discussion. Stay tuned for news and updates on the other side.